Hello, everybody. My name's Alexandra.
And I'm Angelica.
And this is Legends of Yesterday, where we talk about histories, mysteries, and ghost stories here in Florida.
Florida.
Now, we are sisters. We are improvisers. So if you don't like jokes in between your histories, mysteries, ghost stories, and the great beyond, oops.
Sorry to disappoint.
Oops. Not your gals.
Not your gals.
Now,
Not anyone's gals.
Not anyone's gals. It is June. Feminism, which is involved in today's episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So anyway,
that was a moment.
That was a moment. I pivoted real hard in this episode.
Okay.
So I was going to talk about one thing, but I couldn't find like juicy enough information on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I found basically a lot of things. Okay. And it's not, you look scared.
I'm a little scared.
Because she thinks that this is going to take a long time. It's not.
That's not what I'm scared about necessarily.
What do you mean? What are you scared about?
I don't know.
It's like a lot of tiny things that happen.
Okay.
Like things that don't have more information than like a couple sentences, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Fun facts.
Fun facts.
Anyways, happy June. Happy summer.
Hey, do you remember fax machines?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People still use them.
What? Why?
Sometimes you have to send a file over.
Oh, God.
And you use a fax machine.
I never understood fax machines when fax machines were a thing. Like, and I also didn't like them because, like, if you know fax machines, sorry to go on this side tangent about fax machines, but
no, go ahead.
If you got a call and you picked it up and it was supposed to be a fax, or you got a wrong number, it was a fax, you got you know?
Those were the days, my friends. We wish they'd never end. Okay. So, basically what I'm going to do for this episode, I'm going to jump into it.
Okay.
I know normally we have a lot of banter, but I have things to do.
And I talked about fax machines.
And she already talked about fax machines, so I'm over it. Oh, fun fact, I got us new blankets. Yeah. So we have blankets in our favorite colors.
Tell us what you think about our blankets.
We are going to be getting started. Basically, what we're going to be talking about today is multiple things that happened in June. Specifically.
Yay.
It's June.
I know.
Why are you not excited?
I don't
this
know
is
where this
pretty
story
cool.
is going. Okay, I'm excited. Woo! Whoa, June. June bug. June.
Are you excited at
River.
least? My sister's not excited. Are you?
I'm so excited.
I'm
like
you.
The most excited. So excited. I'm excited.
I'm going to end on the coolest thing. So basically what we're going to be talking about is a couple of things that happened specifically in Florida, specifically in June, throughout multiple times in history.
Okay.
And we're going to start off with a very feminist story.
All right, here we go. Feminism.
We go all the way to Fellsmere, Florida.
Fellsmere?
Fellsmere.
Fellsmere. Okay.
Don't. Fellsmere, Florida was incorporated as a town in February in 1915, all right? Its incorporation included a provision granting women the right to vote.
Whoa. Wait,
Yeah.
It started with women having right to vote?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. That didn't happen here in Davie. It did eventually, but
not for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, there's a woman named Zena M. Dreer.
Okay.
Or Dreyer. Dreier. Obviously, we'll have it here. And she was she stated that she added a line to Fellsmere's incorporation papers giving women the right to vote. The line went unnoticed, and the papers were signed by the governor.
Ooh, sneaky. I like it.
Dreyer, I think it's Dreer. She cast a ballot in Fellsmere city election on June 19th, 1915, 5 years before the 19th Amendment was officially signed. This made her the first woman in Florida, as well as the first woman in the southern United States to cast a ballot in the municipal non-school election.
That's incredible. That's literally incredible. Xena, warrior princess of Florida.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Cooler if she rode in voting on a sword, or like voting with a sword. But we can't all get what we want.
Now, the next thing we're going to be talking about, I'm saving something for last because there's something currently happening this month that has to do with it.
Okay.
That like you guys can go to.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, this will be posted before the event, so you guys can go to that thing. Okay. So
now I'm excited.
So the next thing is something called Two Live Crew censorship controversy.
What?
Now, the Two Live Crew was a rap group, and they had a controversy here in Florida. The Two Live Crew censorship controversy emerged in the early 1990s when the group's album, As Nasty as They Wanna Be, was declared obscene by federal judge Jose Gonzalez.
Oh, no.
This ruling stemmed from a civil case initiated by the album's production company, Skywalker Records, amid warning from law enforcement about potential arrests for selling the album. Following the judge's decision, a lot of the record stores in Florida, Broward, Dade, Palm Beach counties, they had to remove the album from their shelves. And legal actions extended to their group members.
What?
Now, these group members actually ended up facing charges related to performing songs from the album at concerts.
What?
The controversy sparked a wider debate about artistic expression, obscenity, and censorship in music, with similar actions occurring in other cases, including in Texas and in Rhode Island.
Wow. I need to listen to this album. I need to listen to this album.
Now, in response to the backlash, Two Live Crew released Banned in the USA, which critiqued censorship while also facing its own challenges. Ultimately, the legal battles culminated in a significant U.S. Supreme Court decision that upheld a federal appeals court ruling declaring the album was not obscene, effectively ending the controversy. This case highlighted critical issues regarding freedom of expression and the varying standards of obscenity across different regions in the United States.
Let me tell you what I think about censorship. Censor whatever I say, no matter what.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled podcast to let you know that Angelica has officially sworn too much for me to edit out.
What else is there?
And we're back for a second segment of Oh No. I'm not cutting any of this.
No.
None of this has the nope.
And that's what I think about censorship. There we go. I'm blocking my face as I'm like trying to
talk about a mic drop.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're gonna move on to.
I need to listen to that album though.
Oh, we're gonna listen to that album. Yeah.
After this, guys, we're listening to that album.
We're gonna listen to Obscenity.
Obscenity.
All
That's
right.
So obscene. Turn it off.
Hey.
No.
Hey. Nick. Oh.
They talk about pants.
They talk about gyrations.
No gyrations.
No gyrations.
No, not their hips.
It's like Elvis. That whore. Okay. We're going to move on to June 14th, 1740, to Fort Moose, Florida.
Fort Moose.
The battle of...
The bladder?
Nope, shut up.
Bladder?
Wait.
Were people peeing everywhere?
No, it's worse.
Oh.
The Battle of Bloody Moose.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, it's called also the Battle of Fort Moose or Bloody Moosa.
Okay.
It was a significant action of the War of Jenkins' Ear that took place on June 14th, 1740 in Spanish Florida. Located 2 miles north of St. Augustine, Fort Moose was established in 1738 by the Spanish as a refuge for fugitive slaves escaping from the colonies of Georgia and South Carolina. 45 years later, in 1693, King Charles II, because yes, Florida did have an English-ruled period, if you didn't know that.
We talked a little bit about it with St. Augustine, so if you want to go back to that episode.
45 years earlier, in 1693, King Charles II had ordered his Florida colonists to give all runaway slaves from the Virginia colony freedom and protection if they converted to Catholicism and agreed to serve Spain.
Weird.
Not weird.
Like,
That's how
yay.
it worked.
Freedom. But okay.
With conditions.
Freedom with conditions.
And not freedom. The fort consisted of a church, a wall of timber with some towers, and some 20 houses inhabited by about 100-ish people. Now, the Maroons were commissioned as Spanish militia by the governor Manuel de Montiano, and put under the command of Captain Francisco Menendez, who we've talked about before,
Okay.
who is of African Spanish descent, who had escaped from slavery in the colony South Carolina.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
The fort to the Spanish served as both a colony of freedom and as Spanish Florida's front line for defense against possible enemies of the southern colonies. Word of the free black settlement reached the province of South Carolina. It is believed to have helped inspire the Stono Rebellion in September 1739. Now, former slaves headed for Spanish Florida and were recruited into the colonial militia. At the outbreak of the War of Jenkins' Ear in 1739, General
Jenkins' Ear.
General, bear with me, James, that's the good part, Oglethorpe. Please don't make fun of these historic names.
Oh, man. That's just a good name.
Who was the governor of Georgia, encouraged by some successful raids made by the British and their Native American allies in the frontier, decided to raise a significant expedition to capture St. Augustine, which was at the time capital of Spanish Florida. As part of the campaign, he realized his forces had to capture and hold Fort Moose. And so we began Moose. Oglethorpe launched his campaign.
Oglethorpe and the Moose.
There were some troops from South Carolina and Georgia. There were militia volunteers, and there were over 600 allied Indian Creek and Uchese allies, and about 800 former slave allies as auxiliaries that made the expedition, which was supported at sea by 7 ships of the Royal Navy. Montiano, who had 600 regular reinforcements, ended up arriving recently from Cuba and began to entrench his position. On several occasions, he attempted to I swear to God, I can talk.
It's funny because they were unsuccessful, just like you're unsuccessful at saying any of these words. But
you know what?
What?
Close your eyes. On several occasions, he attempted to unsuccessfully attack the British lines by taking them by surprise, which we know as
a surprise attack.
Whatever. Approaching
raid?
No. Guerrilla.
Oh, guerrilla warfare.
Okay. Approaching St. Augustine, a British party under Colonel John Palmer, right?
Arnold Palmer?
Golf. The British forces suffered from a lot of conflicts in command and control because the Highlanders were primarily Gaelic speaking and were unimpressed with Colonel Palmer's leadership. For his part, Colonel Palmer was likewise distrustful of the Highlanders' abilities and disciplined soldiers.
I'm really excited about this because I'm watching Outlander and they just got to the United States. I hope that's not a spoiler.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder if they go to St. Augustine.
I don't know, but I'm so excited. They just landed on a beach. And that's all I'll say.
Because it's a ship?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Manuel de Anyway, Manuel de Montiano had ordered the fort abandoned after some of its inhabitants had been killed by native allies of the British. The free black residents moved to St. Augustine. While Oglethorpe while the Oglethorpe expedition laid siege to St. Augustine, Montiano considered his options. Knowing the strategic importance of Fort Moose and realizing his options, No. Realizing its vulnerabilities. I read the same sentence twice. Montana decided to undertake a counter-offense operation. At dawn on June 4th. At dawn.
Oh, okay.
Shut up!
Oh!
At dawn. On June 14th, Captain Antonio Salgado commanded Spanish regulars, like normal soldiers, and Francisco Menendez led the Maroon militia and Seminole auxiliaries in a surprise attack on Moose.
Dun, dun, dun.
The attack was initiated 2 hours before the British soldiers even were awake. So, they couldn't prepare any of their arms for defense. About 75 of the British troops were dead, and 34 were captured in bloody hand-to-hand combat with swords, muskets, and clubs.
Wait, who died?
British troops?
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
The Spanish victory at Fort Moose demoralized the badly divided British forces and was significant in Oglethorpe's withdrawal to Savannah. Now, in late June, St. Augustine was relieved by Spanish forces from Havana, and the Royal Navy's warships, I'm okay, abandoned the land forces. Governor Montano commended the Maroons for their bravery. Although Fort Moose had been destroyed during this operation, its former residents were settled in St. Augustine for the next decade as free and equal Spanish colonial citizens. That's that. Now we're going to do rapid fire fun facts of things that happened in history in June.
Okay.
This is a short episode, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We only have about 30 minutes recorded, maybe.
Okay.
Normally we're like an hour 15.
Okay. Let's do this. Rapid fire.
I should have made bigger letters. Oops.
Oh, well. You can't read? You old?
I'm illiterate. Okay. Anyway, so here's some rapid fire things that happened in June in Florida.
Yeah, rapid fire.
Okay. June 17th, 1942, Nazi spies on the coast.
Oh, no.
Nazis. Okay. 4 German operatives arrived via U-boat to Ponte Verde Beach. They buried explosives and uniforms in the sand with the intent to sabotage U.S. infrastructure, but one of the saboteurs got cold feet.
Oh.
Turning himself in and dooming the entire operation.
What? Okay. Nazis, I'm really happy that you were caught, that things happened to you that were bad. Great. What an idiot. What?
Yeah.
You backed out last second. You buried the stuff. You went in the water. You went to this foreign land, and now you're backing out? What? What a jerk. But also, good for you. You helped put down a mission.
Do you want to hear the other things?
That was essentially evil, so yay.
Anyways, June 14th, 1966. The Miami Marlins and the St. Petersburg Cardinals played a grueling 29-inning Florida State League game. The game began at 7:30 p.m. And finally concluded at 2:29 a.m.
What? This is why I'm not a baseball person.
The following day, setting the record for the longest game in professional baseball history.
That's crazy. That's actually a cool stat to have. Longest baseball game in history.
It is known as the Ultimate Baseball Marathon.
Whoa. I take it back. It's pretty cool.
I know. In 1862, the Confederate steamer Havana was set ablaze on that day at Dead Man's Bay. That's wow.
That's a lot of rhyming.
Okay, anyway. The steamer was fired to prevent her capture by the federal ship Azilda. That's so fun. 1883, Crescent City was incorporated by the Florida legislature. That's super fun. 1925, the municipal charter for Cocoa Beach, the Florida Boom Resort, created by Cocoa attorney Gus Edwards, was approved by the Florida legislature on this day. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, 1941, the highway 520 causeway linking the city of Cocoa to Merritt Island was dedicated today. This causeway would prove extremely useful to U.S. military forces at the Banana River Naval Air Station.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Banana River.
Yeah. 1963, the Florida Supreme Court ruled that cigarette manufacturers can be held liable in the deaths of smokers.
Ooh.
Crazy. Now, we're going to move on to this last piece of history. It is something that you can currently go to actually
I'm
on
excited.
June 20th. That it directly involves what I'm about to talk about.
Okay.
Surfing history in Florida.
Oh, cool.
It's summer.
Yeah.
Woo.
I haven't heard about surfing in Florida in a long time. I feel like I used to hear about it a lot, and I don't hear about it anymore.
No, well, our swim coach, Coach Deloach.
Yeah, she used to surf.
Yeah, she would go surfing at Vera Beach, I think she said. Something like that. We're not surfers.
We're not surfing.
If you can't tell.
We're terribly cute.
It's summer. It's June. We're recording this in June.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a turtleneck.
I'm pale. Maybe next episode we'll be tan. Wouldn't that be crazy if we not next episode? That's yeah. But you know, the July episodes or August we're tan cuz like we did summer, right?
Yeah, I'm okay not getting sunburned. Anyway, okay, so when most people think of surfing, they don't picture Florida. They think of Hawaii, California, Jeju Island, Korea. Very pretty. Okay. But South Florida actually has an extremely rich surfing history. Now, it all started along the East Coast. Now, during the 1910s to the 1930s, the oldest known photograph of surfing in Florida was taken by the Breakers Hotel Pier in Palm Beach in 1919.
Wow.
This was the start of the wave riding tradition. Mm-hmm. And it also was taking place along Florida's coast over a century ago. And historians even think that surfing likely existed in Florida even earlier than that.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. During the 1930s, brothers Bill and Dudley Whitman of Miami Beach became some of Florida's first dedicated surfers. This was inspired by the Hawaiian-style surfing demonstrations. They built their own surfboards and helped to introduce this culture and this sport into South Florida.
That's super cool.
Mm-hmm. Now, during this time, legendary waterman Tom Blake visited Florida and introduced innovative hollow surfboards that improved performance and popularity of the sport.
Hollow.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Who would have ever thought?
Now, after World War II, Florida's population obviously exploded. Baby boomers. And so did the surfing sport. By the 1960s, Florida had developed its own surf culture. There were a bunch of shops that appeared along Miami Beach, Delray Beach, other coastal communities. A bunch of younger surfers started to go to local piers. They would start creating their own boards, sharing techniques, building uniquely Floridian surf identities.
That's pretty cool.
Now, Delray Beach became one of Florida's surf capitals because Atlantic Avenue was reportedly selling more surfboards than anywhere else in the state during the early 1960s. Now, there was a shipwreck. One of the most famous moments in South Florida surfing history occurred during Hurricane Betsy in 1965. A firefighter called a freighter called the Amaris ran aground off Singer Island near Palm Beach. This wreck unexpectedly created a huge wave, producing a barrier that generated some of the best surfing conditions that they had basically ever seen or ever done. And so many surfers came around were around the shipwreck and helped establish Palm Beach County as a serious surfing destination.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Now, there are a lot of powerhouses in Florida's surfing family.
Okay.
Let's try to find the right word. While California and Hawaii often dominate surfing headlines, Palm Beach County quietly produced an astonishing number of professional champions who are still surfing today, some of them. But the area became famous for breaks like Reef Road in Palm Beach, one of Florida's rare reef breaks capable of producing genuine big wave conditions. A lot of surfers consider it the state's most legendary wave.
Now I want to go surfing.
I know. All right. Now, Palm Beach County specifically would produce world champions, including Kelly Slater, Lisa Anderson, Frida Zamba, Caroline Marks. Yeah. These are world renowned award winning surfers. Now, a lot of historians even note that Palm Beach County produced more world surfing champions than many other countries. Now, Broward County and Fort Lauderdale doesn't receive a lot of the same consistent surf culture as Palm Beach County, but Fort Lauderdale definitely has its own scene, like Delray Beach.
Very cool.
Now, throughout the 1980s and 1990s, surf and boogie board competitions were frequently held in Fort Lauderdale Beach.
Why don't we go to these? I want to go to these now.
Now, this also developed the iconic Elbow Room. It became a gathering place for surfers. A lot of local surfers learned to chase winter cold fronts even, tropical storms, and hurricanes that generated much larger swells along the Florida coast. So, shaka bra, dude.
I'm so excited to look this up afterward.
Okay, now here's what's super cool. This is
what I'm excited
This is why
for.
I wanted to end on.
I'm expecting this.
On June 20th of this year, 2026. Okay. So that means by the time I'm posting this, so you still have
like a week,
8 days to go to this thing. Okay. Now today, South Florida remains home to a lot of passionate surfers and the surfing community.
Okay.
Palm Beach County surf heritage is preserved by the Surfing Florida Museum.
Oh, that's so cool.
Now, this actually houses some historic surfboards and photographs, films, memorabilia documenting more than 100 years of surfing here in South Florida. Now, what makes South Florida surfing unique is that it exists where many people least expect it. Surfers here learn to read weather charts, chase swells, and appreciate every rideable wave. Now, what's exciting is there's something called Endless Summer.
Okay.
Can't pull up the article, but there's something called Endless Summer, not only showcasing summer surf stuff, but they're also going to be showcasing a film about a famous surfer. So
cool.
Yeah. But that's it. That's what I have.
I think I've heard of Endless Summer. I wonder if it's popped up on any like film things down here. That's so cool.
It is very cool.
We should go.
Yeah.
We should go.
No, we can't. We're at the DV Pro Rodeo that day. All right.
That's true. What a bummer, man. Rodeo's fun though too, but you know.
Well, Angelica.
There's too much going on.
There's too much going on. Did you enjoy my rapid fire?
I did.
Happy June, everybody. Next week, join us for
mystery. I don't know anything about what's going to happen.
A missing judge and his wife. What? Conspiracies of other law enforcement. Join us for our next Mysteries episode on This is Legends of Yesterday. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Shaka bra, dude.